I'd like to welcome you to the May 7th meeting of the Unionville Town Board. I'd like to open with a pledge to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States to the republic which stands one nation indivisible with justice. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the minutes for both March 19th and April 2nd, please? So moved. Second. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, thank you. I'd like to make an amendment to the agenda here. We got a call from our assemblyman that they wanted to modify the bill in front of them over the cell tower. And that modification is going to require a new home rule resolution. The only change in the resolution is the bill number. The change in, lastly, I'll go into in more detail. I'd like to get a motion to add that to the agenda.
I'll make that.
I'll
second.
It'll be E in old business. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, like I said, I'll go into more detail when we get there. I'm going to read the finances here. In our general checking account, we have $1,427,383. Miscellaneous receipts are $137,778. General money market fund is $122,010. New York class general is $2,686,976. New York class reserve is 5,061, and the New York class ARPA is 849. Total of those accounts is $4,380,057. Our highway checking is 723,227. The highway money market is 29,987. The highway New York class account is 72,096. The West Clove Mountain Bridge New York class account 597,020. New York class equipment reserve is 177,331. The total there is 1,599,661, and that's a total of 5,979,718. Also got word that our annual finance report has been filed with the state, and it appears that everything went well with that. And outside of that, just getting things ready here for the meeting. Councilman Welch.
Okay, I've been reviewing the 2025 section of the 284 agreement for the highway in preparation for cooking later tonight. Also, the Vienna engineering design request for the environmental studies and everything involving the replacement of the bridge on West Clove Mountain. Also, I've been looking at all the roads about the town, including state, county, and town roads. And I gotta say, Ed and our highway guys, Ed Kading and our highway guys, do a very impressive job. Our roads really very good shape, especially after the winter.
Yeah, I spent the past 2 weeks out patching potholes.
Yeah, they really are doing a very thorough job. The county roads are pretty good. The state roads, especially Route 82. I don't know if there's anything we can do to lean on the state, but that Route 82 is really falling apart.
We can put a bug in there.
Okay, if you could, that would be great.
Is that right through Burbank area?
Yeah, anywhere from Firehouse and Burbank up, really up to Stanford. It's pretty miserable.
343 is no better going.
Is it?
All the 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councilman Harrington.
Yeah, I reviewed that area down in the park that needs
Right.
there. It's in brutal shape for a number of reasons. There's a large depression that will get puddles which makes that situation worse. It's worse each time it rains. And it's a pretty large area that's in bad shape. It almost forces, most people to walk all the way around instead of using that area. So, something that doesn't address.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Derlin.
Really just reviewing some of the resolutions for tonight, and fielding a few calls for the upcoming, public hearing for the next meeting. Other than that, not much. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman McGivney?
Just wanted to say, the Easter egg hunt from last, month was a great event. I was there. I know a lot of planning and prep work goes into that event. I wanted to thank Maggie and her crew for doing all that, and, the event, from what I'm told, was, one of the larger Easter egg gatherings that we've had, in the past, larger ones. And I also wanted to give a special thanks to the Easter Bunny for showing up again this year. It's wonderful to see the Easter Bunny. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Town clerk report.
Thank you. So again, shredding day, document shredding day is scheduled for Wednesday, June 4th. If anyone wants to be on the list, they just have to call town hall and we will alert them when the truck arrives because I won't know until the truck pulls in. And also a reminder to all residents, the chamber has generously given us a 50% discount on Bloomfest tickets, which are available in my office through either cash or check made out to the Chamber Foundation. So residents can come in between now and the event. I have.
Thank you. Recreation.
You for the words on the egg hunt. That was the first thing I was going to mention. So our egg hunt event at the end of last month was a great success. Thank you again to all of the volunteers who came in to help, our staff, and all of our families and friends who helped make this annual event possible. And we look forward to hosting it again next year. Our team would like to thank the County Chamber of Commerce and their youth leadership team for coming out to the park this past Saturday. They worked hard throughout the day repainting our pavilion picnic tables and they look amazing. They're going to look so nice for this upcoming summer season. Our team really appreciates all the help and thank you again to Frank Costello for getting them in contact with us. On Friday, May 30th, we will once again host our annual Arlington Jazz Ensemble Music in the Park event. Details on the timing of the event will be posted on our social media pages and our website within the coming days. We appreciate the coordination of this event through the Arlington Band Directors, Richard Gillen and Evan Rizadowicz, and the students and families who helped make this evening of jazz a fun night in our park. The pool is scheduled to open for weekends starting Saturday, May 31st. It will open up during the week starting June 30th. Information on hours as well as pricing for memberships and daily pool passes can be found on our Parks and Recreation website. And then just a friendly reminder to all parents and guardians that any missing medical paperwork for our registered campers is due to our Parks office by June 13th. Please visit our website for information on what paperwork is required and the proper channels to send it to our park office. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Welch, would you like to read the Parks report?
Parks report, sure.
I have it handy if you need it.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, okay, thanks.
Yep, okay.
Parks report dated 5/7/2025. We are continuing to mow and trim various places around town that we maintain. Some areas are too wet to mow due to the rain, so please be careful. Pool cover has been taken off. We are starting to do some maintenance on the pool house, cleaning the pool and checking the mechanical systems to prepare for its opening on May 31st. We will have to look into sending it out to be measured to get prices for replacement cover. This one's past its life expectancy and in poor condition. We are working on cleaning up the baseball field at Godfrey Park. Bathrooms there are not open quite yet. On the first of the month, we had our second and final delivery of trout to Stock Creek for fishing season.
Okay, thank you. Senior Center report.
everyone. We've had a great time at our senior center. Our Kentucky Derby party went off without a hitch. We're doing our Mother's Day tea this Friday. And everything is going really well. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Um, Earlier in the year, I reached out to the fire department through the commissioners, the president and the chief. And gave them the opportunity to come speak anytime they had something to get in front of the residents. And tonight is the first installment. So you're president of the company, correct?
I am.
There we are.
My name is Kathy Welsh. I am the president of the Unionville Fire Company, and I'm also the public information officer for the Unionville Fire District. Just want to thank you for inviting me tonight. Appreciate that. So it's just kind of notes that I wanted to share. Just reminding people, we are an all volunteer fire company. We do have two firehouses located on each end of town, one in Burbank and one in Clove. Our members consist of students, business owners, teachers, contractors, retirees, and so on. Since we are all volunteer, we're always seeking additional volunteer firefighters. All training and equipment is provided at no cost to the volunteer. You can find that information and more by visiting our website, which is uvfdny.org, or of course, you can always search Unionville Fire District and come right to the website. Now, I do provide content on the website, such as updates, news. We'll try to use our LED sign in Burbank for messages, as well as the sign in the Clove. Excuse me. I wanted to remind people that the New York State statewide burn ban is still in effect, believe it or not, until May 14th. So that means no outdoor burning, no burning brush, no burning in barrels, etc. For more info, you can always check the New York State DEC website. However, I do have some information on our website with a link right to the DECs for your convenience. A date to keep in mind is Monday, May 26th, which is Memorial Day. We have our ceremony at 9 a.m. In Burbank on the green. You could check our website and social media pages for details or reminders. It's a day that we're going to remember and honor all who served. We have a short ceremony. It's about 15 minutes. I would love to see a lot more people from the town. It's open to everyone, residents and non-residents. And would love to see more people attend it rather. I also want to take the opportunity tonight to promote our aluminum beverage tab campaign. So the Unionville Fire Company is working with our local chapter of the Home Bureau. So the official name is the New York State Federation of Home Bureaus Incorporated. It was founded by women leaders of various organizations in 1919 in Ithaca, New York. So our local chapter has been collecting these aluminum tabs for Ronald McDonald House charities. When I heard about it, I thought this is a great opportunity. We have far reaches with our social media pages, so I thought this is a great idea to partner with the Home Bureau. So what we're collecting is aluminum beverage tabs only, aluminum. So no steel tabs. So basically, if you're drinking out of an aluminum can, most cases the tabs are aluminum, not 100%. Like for instance, what is it? Cat food cans or soup cans, they're kind of metal, bimetal. An easy way to determine whether it's aluminum or steel, get a magnet. Aluminum does not stick to it. So to date, we have given our local Home Bureau chapter 81 pounds of tabs. And that I know, and that's just in the last 6 months. So thanks to the public's involvement with this, the public response has been absolutely tremendous. We couldn't have been this successful without the public's support, so thank you so much. You can drop the tabs off at Town Hall. We have a little container out by the town clerk's office. You can drop them off. People bring them in Ziploc bags, containers. We'll take whatever. I come occasionally and just pick them up and save them. And the campaign will run at least to the end of this year. So we'd like to encourage people to follow us, like or follow us on social media for more updates and news. We're on Facebook and Instagram right now, and we're under Unionville Fire Department. My contact info is on the website under the Public Information Officer tab, or you can go on the Contact Us tab, which that information that you input, just fill out the fields. That goes right to the president's email. So I want to thank you very much for allowing me to share some of our news.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna go back and mention that, I mentioned, previously we had applied for the .gov, URL, and that was awarded to us. And our website company is working to get that up and rolling. And the town clerk and I had a meeting with the, website consultants and saw a preview of what they've got put together so far, and it really looks promising. I think everybody's gonna be very pleased, when we launch it.
Good idea, thanks.
Okay, that brings us to public comment on agenda items. Anyone? Okay, we have no new business this time around. Will bring us to the resolution to award the vehicle equipment fitment for the constable vehicle. We discussed this at a couple meetings. Got a couple different quotes on it and have awarded it to the low bid on that, reflected in the resolution. Councilman Harrington, would you like to read that, please?
Yes, do we have a number on that?
36.
Town of Unionville Town Board Resolution number 36 of 2025. Resolution authorizing the purchase and installation of emergency lighting for new constable vehicle. Whereas, in accordance with the Town of Unionville adopted procurement policy, written quotes were solicited from vendors for the purchase and installation of emergency lighting for the new constable vehicle. And whereas 3 written quotes were sought, but only 2 written quotes were received. And whereas Comlinks Incorporated submitted the lowest proposal dated April 4th, 2025 for the purchase and installation of emergency lighting in the amount of $4,614.38, which includes the Weston Hard Trifold tonneau cover option. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, the recitations set forth above are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. 2, the town supervisor is hereby authorized to accept the proposal from Comlinks Incorporated for the purchase and installation of emergency lighting for the new constable vehicle for the total sum of $4,614.38, a copy of which is annexed hereto. 3, the town supervisor is hereby directed to submit a purchase order for the purchase and installation of emergency lighting for the new constable vehicle.
Any discussion? Okay, I'll add that, we had an option on there for new lenses for the light bar. I was able to spend a Saturday afternoon with a buffing wheel and clean those up. So, yeah, they look new. Okay, so we'll do a roll call vote on this, please.
Harrington,
Yes.
Councilman Welsh.
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier.
Aye.
Councilman McGivney,
Aye.
Councilman Derland.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Resolution number 37 is the West Clover Mountain Bridge engineering proposal. We had that presented at our last meeting. And resolution to accept the proposal. Councilman Derlin?
Sure. resolution approving proposal for engineering services for Renia Engineering Design in connection with the West Globe Mountain Road Bridge Replacement Project. Whereas the town of Unionville is seeking to retain professional engineering services in connection with the replacement of the vehicular bridge over the Fishkill Creek on West Globe Mountain Road in the town of Unionville. Whereas the town of Unionville received a proposal from Renia Engineering Design dated February 18th, 2025 for professional engineering services for the design, permitting, bidding, and construction of a replacement vehicular bridge over the Fishkill Creek on West Globe Mountain Road in the town of Unionville. And whereas the town board of the town of Unionville would like to retain the services of Renia Engineering Design, and whereas this is a type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, seeker, and therefore not subject to review under seeker. And whereas the services to be provided by Renia Engineering Design to the town constitute professional services which are exempt from the bidding requirements under general municipal law, paragraph 103, and the town of Unionville procurement policy. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. The recitations set forth above are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. The town board of the town of Unionville hereby approves the engineering services proposal from Renia Engineering dated February 18th, 2025 for the design, permitting, bidding, and construction of a replacement vehicular bridge over the Fishkill Creek on West Globe Mountain Road in the town of Unionville. The town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute the proposal from Renia Engineering Design, a copy of which is annexed hereto and made a part hereof. Renia Engineering Design shall be paid in accordance with the annexed proposal.
Okay, any discussion on that? Oh, I need a second on it, I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote on it, please.
Councilman Harrington.
Yes.
Councilman Welsh.
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier.
Aye.
Councilman McGivney.
Aye.
Councilman Derland.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Did I
Sure.
seconded the constable bill? I'm sorry, I believe I did.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Okay, yep, thank you. Highway 284 proposal. You've had that in front of you. This is the highway superintendent's proposal on how the highway funds should be spent. He also included a 5-year plan here that I printed out for you to look
Yeah,
at.
very nice.
This is subject to amendment down the road based on what we find in the meantime. The Jennifer Hill project is going to put a dent in this. But if you're all in agreement or any, we can go ahead and do the resolution to accept it. And then in addition to the resolution, I'll need you guys to sign the proposal before we leave tonight. Councilman McGivney.
Town of Unionville Town Board Resolution 38 of 2025, resolution authorizing an agreement for highway expenditures pursuant to Highway Law 284. Whereas the town board, town superintendent of highways, the town of Unionville are required by Highway Law 284 to enter into agreement stating the places and ways the highway fund appropriations and road repairs and improvements are to be expended. And whereas town superintendent of highways has submitted a proposed highway law section 284 agreement for fiscal year 2025 to spend town highway funds for general repairs, primary work, permanent improvements. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. This resuscitation set forth above incorporated in the resolution as a fully set forth and adopted herein. To the town board, the town superintendent of highways agrees that monies levied and collected by the town for repairs and improvements of the highway and the New York State aid received for repairs and improvements of the highway shall be expended in accordance with the annexed agreement for expenditure of highway monies three, the town supervisor and the town board are hereby authorized and directed to execute agreement annexed here to duplicate it and file said agreement with the town clerk. Or the town clerk is hereby directed to forward an executed agreement to the Dutchess County Commissioner of Public Works, their capacity as county superintendent of highways.
Have a second on that, please.
I'll second.
Any discussion on it? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilman
Yeah.
Bennington,
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier, Councilman McGivney, Councilman Derlin.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me 1 second. Dealing with allergies here, I apologize.
You're allergic to me now?
Okay, we have discussed the employee vacation policy. And I did made some amendments to it so that our part-time employees, by definition, receive the same accrual times that our full-time staff does. They are, just as dependable and reliable and necessary as our full-time positions. So we'll help with retention and rewarding them, for their service. The attorney pointed out just before the meeting that I missed one of the changes when we had switched to 30 hours versus 32. I'm not sure where that is. It said personal time. All right, that's not on a page here that I have printed. Okay, I will go through that and make that amendment. I found one in this here as well. That I switched in after I sent you the first copy. That's a problem when we make an amendment. You gotta go through and find out how many times it was mentioned.
details,
Yeah. So any discussion, I think that best to have a discussion prior to, well, we're just gonna discuss this tonight and see if you want to do any further amendments or but my changes should be different. If anyone has anything.
I've read it over. I believe it's very fair the way you had it set up there. I see no additional changes needed.
Okay,
Yeah, we've previously discussed this, so.
okay. What I'll do then is have the attorney prepare a resolution for our next meeting to put it into effect. And-
First time.
I'm sorry, well, I'll go back and find that.
Right, add that in.
Yeah. That'll be part of it as well. Well, we actually did approve that. It just didn't get
Yes.
written in.
Right.
Yeah, it was a typo. Okay, that covers that. So, as I mentioned, I got a call from the state assemblymen when they were considering our application for home rule on the cell tower. They noticed that the verbiage in it gave that ruling a 5-year lifespan. And they wanted to make that 30 years. Because they don't want to have
Makes a lot
to,
of sense.
yeah, they don't want to address it every 5 years, which then by doing that required us to have another home rule resolution. The only change in it is that time period. Everything else remains the same. I think it is an indicator that this is going to go forward. Because they came across that and they also asked for the ruling on the suit with Beekman over the cell tower to find out that we had indeed won that case. I think those are both good signs that this is going to go forward. So if we're willing here to entertain this resolution tonight, I'd like to get this back up to them ASAP. So there's no delay in moving this forward. The only change in the resolution itself is the bill number. And it is the same bill number with A after it, for, the amended version.
One other.
Okay.
30 years. Draft resolution, bill, waivers, added up the number of years.
In the lease?
Well, in their, that 5-year thing.
Okay, right.
They gave you a term and then like 5-year renewals, a number of, but you added them all up, it equals. State, for some reason, thought that that was, they thought it sounded like they had to do it every 5 years. So they said, well, let's do 30 years. So it's.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But they standardize, so they don't have other, like, so. Years from now, there's gonna be a number of different.
Have to renew, yeah.
Process. So that's kind of what happened. So the 40 or 30 and I put an additional whereas clause. What happens a little bit there, just so they understand, since then the second resolution, seeking the same legislation.
Right. So is there any opposition to passing or working on this tonight, considering it? Let's put it
I
that
think you
way.
got a great idea to do it quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we
move
can do
forward.
it right away.
Okay. I guess that's me at this point. Okay, so this is gonna be, resolution number 40. Is I dedicated 39 to the,
Vacation.
okay, resolution authorizing home rule request to authorize the town of Unionville to alienate and discontinue use of certain parklands. Whereas by resolution number 23 of 2025 adopted by the Town of Unionville Town Board on March 19th, 2025, the town board authorized the submission of a home rule request to authorize the town of Unionville to alienate and discontinue the use of certain parklands. And whereas the request has been forwarded to the New York State Assembly and the New York State Senate, and whereas the New York State Legislature amended some of the language and provided new bill number, specifically Assembly Bill number A 5851-A and Senate Bill number 5224-A. And whereas the town board of the town of Unionville believes that the leasing space on town lands for telecommunications purposes would enhance the general prosperity and economic welfare of the residents of Unionville. And whereas the town desires to alienate and discontinue the use of certain parklands and lease at fair market value to Homeland Towers LLC for a term not to exceed 30 years for the purpose of operating a radio transmission tower facility. And whereas the lands to be alienated consist of approximately 0.121 acre parcel to be leased for the tower placement and approximately 0.129 acre parcel for an easement to provide access to the tower, which are described in detail and annexed hereto and made part hereof. And whereas pursuant to Assembly Bill A 5851-A and Senate Bill S 5224-A, the proposed legislation has been submitted to the New York State Legislature for the purposes of adopting the enabling legislation to permit the town of Unionville to alienate and discontinue the use of certain parklands and lease at fair market value to Homeland Towers LLC for a term not to exceed 30 years for the purpose of operating radio transmission tower facility. And whereas the revenues generated from said leasing would be used solely for the acquisition of new parklands and or towards capital improvements to existing parkland and recreation facilities. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. The recitations above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. The town board of the town of Unionville hereby issues this home rule request effective May 7th, 2025 in support and passage of Assembly Bill A 5851-A and Senate Bill S 5224-A. The town clerk is hereby authorized to transmit a home rule request form and certified copy of this resolution to the Home Rule Council of the New York State Legislature requesting the introduction and adoption of the aforementioned bills. We have a second on that, please.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, or any further discussion? Okay, Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Harrington,
Yes.
Councilman Welch.
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier.
Aye.
Councilman McGivney,
Aye.
Councilman Derlin.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That brings us down to public comment on town issues. Anyone?
Dean Moore, 5 Darren Road, Grayfield, New York. This is a letter to the town, Unionville Town Board. I just want to apologize to you for using an inaccurate, incorrect number when I spoke to you last time. I value accuracy and always try to give accurate, valid information, but I guess I was just really upset when I was thinking about the lawsuit that was being initiated by the Unionville Library trustees against the town of Unionville, and rushed home to get a letter prepared in time for the upcoming meeting. And so I did not take the time to proofread it before coming to the town hall. The thought that some of our residents, library trustees, would have such a cavalier attitude that they were sued our town for something the majority of our town residents are against, and that they will make our town taxes be used to pay the cost both ways, is just extremely upsetting to me. I had a typing error in which I put down that only 2 out of 288 respondents indicated the town should have its own library at Timor, instead of the actual figure of 2 out of 188. However, I have come to realize the error is not really of much importance in the grand scheme of things, because if you put those figures into a percentage formula, they are almost the same percentage, 0.69% and 1.06%. Or by rounding off the two percentages, you get the same result. Only 1% of the respondents to the survey thought the town should have its own library. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Karen Slocum on the green. I'm here to speak about the library, controversial. I just happened to go to the library this past Friday night on May 2nd. It was the very first time that I had gone to visit the Unionville Library. I admit I was ambivalent about Unionville having a library. Millbrook is up the road, Beekman is down the road. I live in Upper Burbank. I go to Millbrook Library quite often. And even though we're not part of Mid-Hudson, I personally have not felt deprived of any services out of the Millbrook Library. I can't speak for how Beekman handles it, but I've had no problem with Millbrook Library. So they had this talk on Friday, May 2nd, about national parks. It was probably about 15 to 17 people that did show up. It's not advertised real well of the activities that are going on down there, but this talk and this gentleman deserved to have a full house. It was excellent. It was informative. It was educational for all ages. I actually changed my mind to some degree just by going to see it. It's a quaint little area in this little forest down here with a lot of effort from dedicated volunteers. The May calendar is chock full of activities for people for all ages. I intend to go this Friday night again, and I'm bringing 4 other people from the community with me. They're growing, they're starting to offer certain passes for things. And so it was perfectly enjoyable for community members to get together. And the more they get together, the more they enjoy the park, perhaps the more they get involved with the town. So I thought it was a good experience and it was a bit enlightening for myself. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Area 2536 Wingdale Mountain Road, Boquete, New York. Everybody knows my feelings on the library, but as of late, the Unionville Library hours are proposed to change, including to Wednesday from noon to 3 p.m. I had stood in front of this board a month ago, and shared my desire to obtain a grant and not have it conflicted hours with the library. Nobody from the library has spoken to the seniors. They are using space in our senior center. But their new proposed hours of Wednesday 12 to 3 would be a conflict with our published hours. And we made those hours available immediately following the meeting. And that's a 10:30 to 2:30 day. So I'm hoping that the board will be able to look into it and find a resolution.
Okay,
Thank you.
certainly will. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Have a motion to pay the bills?
So,
Second, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, our next meeting is May 21st. The business meeting will begin at 7:30 or directly after the RD10 public hearing, which starts at 7, whichever occurs latter. Motion to adjourn.
so,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you.